What up, YouTube? This your boy Karan again, coming back with another video topic. I want to talk about one of my favorite artists, one of my favorite singers of all time, Jill Scott. She was doing the national anthem. She was doing her own rendition of it, and she kind of remixed it and put a lot of woke ideologies on it, if you will, about the land of the slave, and all this yickety yak stuff. Guys, look, everybody, we live in America, so everybody's entitled to their own opinions, their own feelings toward this country, especially me being a black man. I understand how they treated us, but it's just like, guys, I wholeheartedly feel like, if you're in an unhappy relationship, after a while, you have to kind of get off on being here complaining about it, as opposed to just saying like, yo, listen, I'm out, man. Because a lot of people always say like, you don't know how good you have it in third world countries, is this and that. And I'm like, no, people are well aware of how good they have it. That's why they do the things that they do. I'm sure she's been overseas and seen what it was like, and then came back to America and be grateful. But that gratefulness will turn into ungratefulness because we're allowed to have an opinion. That's our Second Amendment right, our freedom of speech. And me personally, bro, I'm not the staunchest conservative. I don't know what I identify as a political entity. I'm really in the beginning stages of politics. But what I do know is, man, like, yo, guys, if you don't like America, like, seriously, my brother's thinking about moving out of the country. He loves it. And some of the places he's traveled. If you don't like it, why not move? Now, we seen what happened with Brittany Griner when she went over to Russia and they found that vape pen. We don't know if she did it purposely or not. But different rules over in Russia, buddy. Different rules over in these different places. Certain places you go, you can't even hawk a loogie on the sidewalk. You'll get thrown in jail for that. Certain places you go, you can't have an opinion like that, especially given a national anthem, like given the privilege to be singing the national anthem and doing what you did like that. In certain places, you might be subjected to death. So while we sitting here talking about some of the stuff that our ancestors, a lot of the stuff that our ancestors went through, and yes, we should be given some form of reparations. I personally think it should be free education. I will look into that more, but I think at this point, America's in so much debt, and they could give us the money. I don't really care either way. That's just me, my personal opinion. But yeah, man, it's so many people here that aren't using a lot of what we have in our favor in this country to our advantage. Like, yo, people are in, let's just keep it on black people. There's Africans, like real African Americans, because if you were born in the US and you've had family in the United States of America for decades, even centuries, you're not African American. You're Black American, but you're not African American. Like, some of y'all have never been to Africa and y'all call them yourselves African American. The only Americans there are the Africans who moved from Africa, that were born in Africa and speak the language, and they know their way around Africa without a tour guide. They've lived in Africa. They know exactly what Africa, like the part they lived in, like the back of their hand. Those are African Americans. But a lot of them are moving here and dominating. Just like a lot of people are getting out of jail, and 3 to 5 years after they get out of jail, legally they do more than you. Look no further than Wallow, Wes Watson. Like, a black man and a white man got out of jail and said, oh, it's the internet, and I can make as much money off this phone because I can connect with so many different people outside of going from door to door and having to sell what I'm trying to do to them. And I'm about tired of entertainers telling us how bad it is in a country where they're privileged. Because there's so many entertainers talking about things that they really don't go through, just so they can keep the audience on them, the watchful eye on them. And I'm not saying Jill Scott always does that, because to my knowledge, she always doesn't. I don't even pay that close attention to her that much. But I know there's a lot of entertainers that I won't name that every time it's an award ceremony, every time they get a microphone at some type of event, whether it be a sporting event or a boxing event, you know, they getting interviewed and you ask them about what's going on right now, whether it be at a boxing event, a football game, a basketball game, all-star game, they always got to bring up some type of woke nonsense. It's like, yo, bro, listen, entertainment is here for us to get a break from how messed up the world truly is. It's been like that since the beginning of time. It ain't going nowhere. And my thing is, sure, you can use your platform, whatever it may be, to bring light to that. But it's just like every single time, bro. Like every single time you get a microphone, you get something, you telling us how bad it is and everything. Like, trust me, we know more than you about how bad it really is. I don't care how many people's stories that hit to you. I've been on public transportation to see how bad it can be. Anybody live in New Jersey, I've been at Walter Rand train station, and it's a whole lot of white people out there on them streets, sleeping on them streets, walking around zombified. Kensington, Philadelphia. It's a whole lot of white people out there, zombied out. And the older I get, the more I start to really apply myself to wanting better out of this life. I'm starting to really understand, like, yo, this is really what you make it. Is it racist? Yep. Are there things that are working against us that don't want us to be there? Yep. And that's for everybody. Are there people in charge that don't look like me that'll look out for their own if they feel like it? Yep. I don't care. I'm going to get it regardless. And I feel even better getting to the bag because it's just like, you didn't want me to get it and I still got it. What else can I do? In spite of you not wanting me to get it, I still got it, bro. Like, I have a victor's mindset, bro. I've been through enough of my life to know it's really what you make it. Like, nobody came and patted me on the back after skin cancer and all them surgeries I had to go through and being crazy down in the dumps and how my mental was like really my biggest enemy and that biggest hurdle I had to jump over. Like, physically I healed fast, but mentally it took years for me to get right back into the right headspace. Nobody came and patted me on the back. Nobody came and said, "Oh my God, you're sorry this happened to you, man. This black man, how they do this to you?" Listen, bro, look, I just got tired of always being a victim. I got tired of always feeling bad for myself. I got tired of always just looking around and saying, like, yo, why ain't they going through this? Damn, like, why is me? Like, look, something's gonna happen to every single one of us. And I feel like all the stuff that's happened to me, in spite of there being things working against me, it's going to make the story even better. Because in spite of all that, I still persevered. Like Maya Angelou said, still I rise. And I'm saying, in spite of all of that was against me, that was meant to keep me down, I still came out on top. So that lets me know. And bro, they always say, like, listen, if you see somebody that looks like you that's winning, that's it right there. That's all you really need. Another thing is, just because somebody didn't do it doesn't mean that you can't do it. You can always be the first. Yeah, so I'm just like, yo, listen, I see a lot of black people winning on YouTube. I see a lot of black people winning via social media, making money off Instagram and Facebook. I'm not about to sit here and be the one that's complaining. I'm trying to figure out how to do what they doing. Like, yo, I want to use Ali Sadiq because it's a lot of comedians that's still complaining. Yo, like, Netflix won't do this and Netflix won't do that. And before Netflix, it was HBO because they wanted their stand-ups on HBO, and the powers that be won't do this. I'm sure he has his gripes with the industry, but bro, his last two specials to me were great, magnificent, incredible, impeccable storyteller. But guess what? He did that himself. Put it on YouTube, got millions of views on both of them. I like people that take the initiative and say, look, I'm not sitting around waiting for you. I don't want people to feel sorry for me. Yo, this man been in jail for a long time. He could have quitted himself. All the stuff he's been through, he could have quit on himself. And he went into a field that said, listen, all this I went through, I could use it to my advantage and get paid from it. Free my family from it. All I gotta do is learn how to turn it into funny. I love stories like that, bro. Because he could have gave up. He could have been one of those bums. He could have been Franklin Saint. One of those bums on the street getting the beer. Whatever little bit of money they get, they make sure they get their next fix. Sleeping under a bridge. Talking about this, that, and the third. This person against me. Talking to a white person that's homeless about how the white man is against you. But he didn't. And here he is. One of the best working comics today, bro. You put them last two specials up against anybody's, and it's going to come out looking clean. Clean as a mug. Gave his heart and soul for that. He could have waited for Netflix, and he might have waited for the rest of his life, and it never would have came. There's so many bitter people out here that are waiting for other people to make their dreams happen for them, bro. And a lot of people don't understand, like, yo, as messed up as this country is, bro, you can still get it. You can still get it. Trust me. Like, it's a lot working against us, but it's also a lot working for us, man. That's just the way I look at it, bro. Like, I don't know. That's just my take on the whole Jill Scott thing, bro. I'm sorry. Like I said, I ain't here to super bash her, but I'm just saying, like, yo, man, if it's really that bad and you have this allegiance to this country that sold you into slavery, why don't you just go back? Africa's got some beautiful places in it. It also got a lot of horrible places in it where it's a lot of crime, a lot of poverty, like any other place. Whether it's Dubai, China, England, whatever, Colombia, Italy. You can go to all these other places, and as beautiful as it can be, there's a dark side to every place, bro. And America's the best place to be. Now, I may not agree with some of the nonsense that's going on right now and who's in office, but pick your poison. You can always go back to the motherland. What y'all call it, the motherland. But if you're not going to do that, man, I'm not saying be quiet about some of the things that you're passionate about, but I think a lot of actionable steps can be taken if you were to take it to the people that it mattered to the most. You got a following, whether it be City Hall, some of these government steps that a lot of people step on to get laws changed or whatever. That's just me, man. I don't know, but that's just my 2 cents on it. Comment down below if y'all agree with me. Comment down below if y'all agree with her. I'd like to hear y'all perspective on it, guys. Thank you for watching this. Hit a like for the YouTube algorithm. Subscribe so you never miss out on another video. Hit the notification bell so you always notified when I drop a video. And I'm out, guys. I appreciate y'all.